No one's coming. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you. Just get up. Move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it. And you may be successful and you may not be successful, but you will be better when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him, and that's when he becomes a man, and some boys never get there and stay children forever. Nobody cares about you, and I mean that in the most positive, optimistic, inspiring, motivating way. You think that everybody's paying attention, and because of that, it kind of controls how you think. And the reality is, nobody gives a. Everybody is so focused on themselves in this world. Nobody has time for you. Look around you. There was knowing team, it was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up, saying you can do it. You can be better. Trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing. I found myself in a place that I just never envisioned I would be. I would wake up every morning just pinned to the bed with anxiety, and I became somebody that I barely recognized. And you know the thing that's interesting about being stuck in life is that the fact is, you know what you need to do. That's the easy part. It's the how. Do you make yourself do what you need to do when you are scared or overwhelmed or anxious or hopeless or depressed or any of the stuff that happens to you as a human? That's the $100 million question. And because you're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now or that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself. You're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not. We're not wired that way. You weren't born that way. You weren't that way when you were growing up, and you're certainly not that way as an adult. And there's a tremendous amount of liberation that comes when you accept the fact that you're always going to need to give yourself a push. We don't want to be left alone by ourself with our cell. So we come in and we sit down and we get on our phone, or we turn on the TV, or we go wherever we do whatever. Because we don't want to face the reality of being by our cell. With our cell, start making yourself a companion that you're comfortable with, and become comfortable in your own skin. I've trained 99% of my life alone. No one pat me on the back. I did all of the work alone, and while I'm still hard on myself, I know what I did. You know, if you're going to create anything of value in this life, even if it's with other people, you're going to have to be willing to be on your own for a bit, to forge on your own, to take walks alone. I just have bad news for everybody. Nobody cares that you don't have time to practice. Nobody cares that you didn't grow up with money. Nobody cares that you came from a bad neighborhood. Nobody cares about your problems. Stop with the pity party. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, and remember, no one is going to save you, but you save yourself. It seems like my version of personal development requires me to fall into a hole or dig one, and then I realize nobody's coming to rescue me, and if I want to get out of the hole, I'm going to need to build a freaking ladder. It doesn't sound good to say that you're in control, that nobody's coming to save you, but that's what works. And so if you take Kobe Bryant's advice, which is that boos don't block dunks, and the idea that you can get so good at something that people can't stop you from succeeding, and I promise you every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through. And it's the lonely chapter. It's the chapter where you don't fit in with your own friends, but you don't have the outcomes yet to fit into a new group of friends, and you're going through this and you're like, is this even worth it? Because you have no signs of success. But if there's anything that you can take away from what we're saying right now, is that the sign of success is the hate that you get along the way. First of all, nobody is coming. I mean, if you've been sitting around waiting for somebody to discover you, to pick you, to save you, to rescue you, to give you your shot, it's not happening. Like at some point you got to wake up and realize when you're 18 and you're out of that house, you have to parent yourself. Your life is your responsibility. No one is going to save you. We can't do this for you. This journey predominantly must come from you. It's not what other people think it's your life. But if it's your life, you got to be willing to pay the price. There are going to be seasons in your life where nobody is coming. Nobody's coming to support you. Nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to save you. No one is coming to rescue you. You're going to pull yourself out of the pit of misery and put the work in. Everything about it is accountability. Everything about it is self-discipline. Everything about it is no one's going to save you. No one's going to come out of the woods and say, "Hey, I got your back, man. I want to take you from all this. I got to do it all on my own now." But that's the truth. I had to do it on my own. Just like he did. You got to do it on your own. Sometimes you just have to have the ability to save yourself. I'm not going to say it was easy because it wasn't, but I had to learn it. You have to take your own responsibility. No one's going to save you. You have to do it. You got to learn to pick yourself up on your own. A lot of times, these fights and these battles, you got to be your own coach. You got to be your own motivator. You got a long journey ahead of you because you're going to find out that while your dad did a lot of to you, you're going to have to make it on your own. You have to look at your own life and you have to realize, okay, you either have to change yourself or you got to make everybody else wrong. You got to look at your own life and go, what do I need to change so I can be successful? And people don't want to do that. It's easier to try to make the other person wrong. Me, really, because I don't care about being solitary. I don't care about being on my own, and I don't care about taking risks, because for a very long time I was, in any case, on my own, and everything was a risk. Going to school was a risk, or going out for lunch was a risk, or whatever. People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place because it means you're just like everyone else. And that's not where you want to be. You have to be alone in a very dark place in your mind to think about what is important to you. So you're going to feel the pain of being ostracized from the group of friends that you used to have, but you're stuck in this messy middle where you haven't yet worked out who you are on the other side of this, and that lonely chapter that's in the middle is something that I would say almost nobody that I've ever met who has gone from a place where they are to a place where they want to be hasn't gone through. You have to make that start. You have to separate yourself from the pack. You have to be willing to spend time with yourself. You have to sacrifice. I knew that no one was coming back to help me. No one's gonna miracle me to be somebody special. All my situations were on me now. It's solely on me. It's close to 3 in the morning right now. The thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends. And I mean, the bars are always open. Always open, no matter how old you are. They're always open. What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life, to achieve your dreams. That's not always open. I'm talking about right now the small steps in between, the big successes. Everyone sees. No one sees this right now. I'm saying like there's a confidence to it. Man, there's a bad mother rucker that's right here. You know that's getting ahead of the competition. There's an overwhelming sense of fulfillment and pride and satisfaction with that successful people have mastered the art of spending time alone. When I get time with myself, and I get in my head, and I get in my heart, and I understand my behaviors and my belief systems and my parameters and what I need to do and how I need to sow and where I need to send my energy and how I need to execute. In the day, it's a superpower when you spend that time alone, and you can think, and you can pray, and you can meditate, and everybody's not in your mix. You're able to grow. Spending time alone is the only place where you get to have these conversations, and most of us are spending time away from being alone, because we're scared of having these conversations. The challenge today is that we think that there's only one word for being alone, and we call it loneliness. We've forgotten about a second word. It's called solitude. Solitude and loneliness externally look the same, but they're completely different things. Solitude is the strength of being alone, and loneliness is the weakness. I don't respect a whole bunch of people, but the few that I did respect are the people who are uncommon amongst uncommon people. And what that means is those people who weren't afraid to stand alone. I'm very comfortable in my own head. I'm very comfortable, alone for hours at a time, for days at a time. The one companion that's always going to be with you is yourself. No one's coming